Well, welcome back. It's another Blue Glove edition of Boomer Baseball, and tonight we're doing some 1990 score hockey. I don't know about you, but I played me some hockey back in the day. Started with some roller hockey. I lived in the godforsaken land of the middle of nowhere, Southern California. And when I was young, we used to watch the Los Angeles Kings play on KCOP Channel 13. And it was a big deal when we got Gretzky. So my brother used to have Sports Illustrated. He was like 3 years older than me, and my mom wanted us to like be, fairly literate. So she asked us one day, "What would you guys like to read?" And being a big nerd, I said, "I want Newsweek magazine. I want to know about the ins and outs of insider trading and political garbage and whatnot, world wars and political intrigue." And my brother, who was 3 years older than me, who had like priorities that were like kind of shifting based on his age, he pretty much just wanted a swimsuit edition by now. So yeah, he wanted Sports Illustrated, and he liked basketball. He liked basketball. He was a big Lakers fan. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, James Worthy, AC Green. Magic Johnson, Kurt Rambis. That was the jam back in the day, right? If you're a LA fan, right? But like, I started checking out his Sports Illustrateds. I never really saw the swimsuit editions. They were mysteriously absent and not available for review. Though I did dig for them and look. And subsequently, I found piles of Sports Illustrated magazines, which I looked through and got to know a lot of the faces and the names of the National Hockey League. And back then, Edmonton Oilers and specifically these two clowns right here. Just kidding. These two guys. Esa Tikkanen and Wayne Gretzky, both members of the great Oilers teams. We got Steve Larmer, Ron Hextall. And then we got Gary Lehman, who I don't know very much, but then there's a brother of the Brett Sutter, one of the brother Sutters. And then you got Pierre Tougeon, who had CTE troubles, Back in the old days, if you saw a guy like going into the boards, playing the puck and all you could see was his numbers, they'd run him, they'd run him right through the boards. Adam Oates, one of the best playmakers ever, right? And then some sort of schmutz. But anyway, I got into hockey, and I told my dad at some point, like in the 80s, I want to play hockey. And my dad said, "We live in the middle of the desert. What are you talking about, man? Are you like, did you eat some loco weed outside? What's going on? What's wrong with you?" And then, as fate had it, a hockey store opened up in Palmdale, and I saved up a bunch of money. I had a job. I saved my money. I had allowance. I was a hustler, and I went to this hockey shop. And since I didn't know how to skate, I figured I could play goalie because you just stand there, right? My impression of a goalie was somebody who stands there. And I used to play goalie in soccer because I didn't mind the ball. I wasn't afraid of the ball. I actually liked people hitting the ball towards me because I wasn't afraid of it, And so I went to the hockey shop, and for anybody who grew up in the 90s or the 80s, hockey equipment was made by hand in Canada by people who actually made a good living doing it. So when you went and you looked at hockey equipment, it was mostly made of like durable materials. It was mostly leather. They started bringing in like synthetic materials and stuff, and but the price was still like ridiculously high. And so I wanted to play goalie, and I didn't realize, I wanted to be a junior Kelly Rudy. So if you're a Kings fan in the 80s, Kelly Rudy was your guy, right? Before like Jamie Storr and like Daniel, I can't remember his name, Barethium, something French. But anyway, I wanted to be like a goalie. and maybe like a little Rogation Vauchan, little Rogie Vauchan, right? So I went to this hockey shop and I had like $200. And back then, man, we're talking like early 80s. Like $200 back then would, like, for as a kid, would buy you whatever you wanted, right? Unless you wanted like CCM or like Cooper hockey gear. And then it would buy you like a really low end blocker and a really derpy glove, like a glorified baseball glove made by like CCM. So I went in there and I thought I was going to be able to buy my whole gear. I was going to buy my chest protector. I was going to buy my pants. I was going to buy my pads. You know, I was going to get my helmet, you know, shoulder pad, like chest protector, all that stuff. Helmet, blocker, stick. I thought I was going to be gold, right? Not in that era, man. I mean, still not today, but like back then it was pretty hardcore. Like really cheesy blocker, really cheesy glove, and the two of those together plus tax was like $200. And the gentleman that owned the shop, he was really cool, and he was like, "Who's your favorite goalie?" And even though, yeah, I was kind of a homer when it came to the LA Kings, my favorite goalie was Ed Belfour. I don't know how it happened, but like I became an Eddie Belfour fan like way back. And as soon as I saw his helmet, his like attitude and his persona, I just became like an Eddie Belfour fan. So I just said Ed Belfour, and he looked at me like I was trying to play a joke on him. And he said, "Here, come check this out." And he like walked me over to his office, and he had an iTech helmet. And anybody who knows hockey in the early 90s, iTech, that was a super expensive freaking helmet. I mean, it was like $1,500 back then, and it was this amazing, like, state-of-the-art helmet. I think Belfour used it. I think Patrick Waugh used it. I think Curtis Joseph had one, but I can't be sure because there's a couple other companies out there that are pretty rad, like helmet makers that make goalie stuff. So it might not have been Curtis Joseph. I might be making that up, but point being is this dude, he was very nice to me, and he said, "Tell you what, you buy that glove and blocker. I'm gonna grab some used gear, get you some goalie pads, get you a pair of pants, you get your own authentic sip otter, get your own athletic supporter, and I'll give you a free stick." And then I had to buy like a CCM helmet and then get like a cage, you know, the old school cage looking like Dominic Hasek with like the like little neck protector. And that's how I played goalie. And I couldn't skate, and a friend of mine gave me some rollerblades that were all screwed up. They basically had like whacked out bearings and like little tiny nubby wheels because they got worn out. And back then, like if you wore out the wheels, like the wheels cost more, almost as much as the rollerblades. So you would often find like very expensive like shells of rollerblades, and the wheels would be blown out or the bearings would be like jacked, and people would just like throw them away because the cost of the bearings and the wheels was like more than the whole boot, you know. So that's how I came across my first skates. I had taken martial arts. I was like the only kid on my block who could do like the like the full on the heels Van Damme, like, you know, do the splits. And so I naturally became a goalie. I mean, I wanted to be a part of hockey, and I didn't know how to skate. So you just stand there and take it, you know, get things shot at you and you stop them. So that's how I got into hockey, long story short, but the more you know. So what do we got here? So we got Score Premier Edition. Yeah. This is the bilingual edition. So you got the French on it. And then this is the update. Excuse me. This is the update. So it has the rookie and the traded cards. It's got a list of all the players. It's got some pretty juicy stuff. There's a couple cards that I don't have in my PC. I don't have this whole set, actually, but there's a Jagr in here. There's a Mats Sundin in here. There's a Belfour in here. Some of them will actually be in this set, like Jagr. So, like, technically, this is not his rookie. His draft pick card is in this. So we'll look for that. Belfour is a rookie card, so this is his legit rookie. Is Roenick in this? Jeremy Roenick? Don't remember. There's an Eric Lindros card in here before he was officially drafted, I think, by the Nordiques. But, yeah. So, Boomer Baseball, Hockey Edition. Let's get into it. Let's check it out. Ooh-wee. All right, who do we have here? Patrick Waugh? I think so. I think that's Patrick Waugh. Oh, man, these are nice. Oh, man. You know, years later when we looked at these, they were, like, super stupid. We just didn't like them. But Jimmy Carson had a great career. I don't know that gentleman, but we're going to keep Eric Weinrich. We're going to keep Murray Barron. We're going to keep all the prospects over here. Rick Corriveau, Cordy Roberts, Larry Robinson, Ken Baumgartner. Well, if you ever wanted a tough guy, Kenny Baumgartner is your man. Look at Dougie Wilson. You know, he got grandfathered in. He didn't have to play with the lid. Look at that. Going in freaking raw dog. Brendan Shanahan. Sweet. Man, these are lovely. So with these, you get the American-Canadian flag. You get the American-Canadian or French-Canadian. And then you get the translation here, too. Let me smell it. They're not bad. They don't stink like some of the stuff I've seen. And that's not... Is that Hextall? Did Hextall rare... maybe he had a lid like that. I don't remember. Anyway. Hextall. Somebody else. Bobby Smith. Sergei Makarov, one of the oldest rookies of the year. Freaking A, Mike Richter. Ego with Shanny. Dominic Lavoie, don't know. Bruce Hoffert, don't know. Ves Veltz, I've heard of him. Stefan Facit, yes. Troy Murray. Ken Reggett. It's Ken Reggett, bro. That's definitely Ken Reggett, check it. That's Kenny Reggett right there next to some jabroni on the Oilers. Don't know who it is. Ken Reggett. Randy Carlisle became a coach, of course. Jeff Chikrin and Steve Larmer, man. Steve Larmer. Good stuff. Another Patrick Waugh playing the puck. So it's about Thanksgiving tomorrow. It's up late. Got like 20,000 steps on me today. Burning the midnight oil. But you know what? I've been jonesing to open up this set. Waiting for this to come in the mail. So it's perfect storm. Let's see what we got. Brad May. We're looking for that Jagr. Andrew Castles. There's Mike Vernon in the background. Oh, baby. There's Darian Hatcher. Heck yeah. Thank you, Darian Hatcher. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. It's a great time in hockey, man. Again, like years later, you would look at these scorecards and go, oh, how primitive, you know? It's like looking at score baseball from this time period. You look at it, wow, Adam Graves rookie. You look at this score set, and you just think kind of how like dated this design looks. But, bro, when I'm like 30-something years away from this, it's pretty charming. I haven't seen this product in a long time. And, of course, we never had French-Canadian or Canadian bilingual product where I'm from. I'm from California, so everything was English, right? Cam Neely. Paul Coffey. Oh, baby. Subsets, Mario Lemieux. Another CTE victim. Pat LaFontaine. Really super talented dude. Brian Trottier. Heck yeah. Grant Fear. Heck yeah. Kevin Lowe. Heck yeah. Golly, Adam Graves rookie. Heck yeah. Man. Some goodies. There's a lot of goodies in here. But, you know, We never had like the French Canadian stuff. We always had like the American stuff. Rick Tocchet, yep. Stephane Brichet. Let's see what else we get. Joe Murphy, not bad. Oh, Luke. So if you're a Kings fan and used to watch Kings hockey, every time Luke came on the ice, it sounded like boo, like people were booing, but no, it's just Luke Robitaille, Phil Housley. I'll keep those. Beautiful. Luke Robitaille's been in the back office for the Kings for years. I think he was around for both Stanley Cups, if I remember correctly. I wish they were doing a little better this year. I wish my man Kempe would get going. Now he's got his contract. Let's get it going, man. Bernie Nichols, Espert, Issel, Yake, Marty McSorley. I'm going to put together that Kings team. Clint Malarchuk, Rick Walmsley, Babbage, Wendell Clark. Yeah, I just keep all the guys I like. I remember the guys that I watched, people that, I like their style, Or they're just straight up like legends and Hall of Famers. Was it? Oh, okay. Maybe that wasn't Adam Graves' rookie. I thought they were rookies because there's only one line. Maybe that's a mistake on my part. Mike Vernon, though, he was cool. Darren Pupa. Like you go from a caterpillar to a Darren Pupa. Anyway. Ray Borg. Brett Hull. Love it. It's great. I like those little subsets. Blackhawks versus Oilers. Is that Roenick right there? Can't tell. Every time I see Blackhawks jersey from that time, I'm just imagining Jeremy Roenick, Joey Mullen, Larry Murphy. Golly. Such good stuff. Oop. Man, there's Beezer. Simstrom. Gretz. Magician. Very cool. Al McInnes with the big blaster. And then Cam Neely. Paul Coffey. Wow. Trottier again. Grant Fuhr again. Guy Lafleur. Sorry. Tippa Newman. Johnny Van Beesbrook. Van Beesbrook is good, man. Beezer had some years. I was a Mike Richter guy, though. It's kind of like a late to the game Ranger fan. I just like the outfit, the old Americana, Tim Chevalier, Guy Carbonu. Ho, a big hit. Golly, huzzah. Here, let's move this up. Let's back this out. There we go. All right, let's put Marty there. Keith Primeau. Mike Ricci, man. This guy played his heart out for San Jose for years. That's kind of cool. Patrick Waugh. Like LSD Patrick Waugh. Whatever. Rod the Bod. Pretty cool. Brian Leach. Heck yeah. Let's see what else we got. Another Sutter brother. Chevalier. Yeah, okay, this guy's over there. Let's open this up. Flippity flap. Wow. It's nice to open up hockey. I haven't opened up hockey in a while. I'm trying to just check off all the stuff from like the 90s. I'm not really going to be Olaf Kolzig, guys. Do you remember Olaf Kolzig? He had a good run, man. Dude had a great run. These guys don't know much. Stu Barnes, yeah, he played, for sure. Markov, oldest rookie in NHL history. I think they had to change the Rookie of the Year standards because this dude was like a 40-year-old rookie out of Russia. Theo Fleury, man. Oh, baby. I keep looking at the back, but that's a Madonna rookie, bro. He's going with Marty Brodeur right there. Those are sick. Essenza, Glenn Anderson, still really good. Eddie Olczyk. Edzo. Oh, got a Gretzky on top. That's some eye candy. All right, come on. Common players over there. Let me see what my camera angle looks like. Looks kind of goof. Oh, hold on, guys. Sorry. I'm trying to optimize my surroundings here. All right. Scoot that up. Scoot these up. Mondano, Brodeur. Let's straighten up these piles. We got prospect pile. We got draft pick pile. We got legends and Hall of Famers. And then we got like insert kind of subset dudes. All right, here we go. Dirk Graham. This dude had a great career. I'll keep him for the PC. Got Iserman. We got Gretzky Sniper. Mike Gardner. Golly. Another one. Gretzky. Michel Goulet for the PC. Chris Terrari. Kurt Turcotte. And Eddie Olczyk. Fudge it. Give me Edzo. All right, here we go. Let's get into it. Oh, look at that. Right off the rip. All right. Kevin Hatcher, man. Early Kevin Hatcher. Why not? Oh, gotta itch my nose. Sorry. There we go. Another rookie. Another rookie. Another rookie. CHL. Oshawa Generals. Lindros should be in here, right? Doesn't he play for Oshawa? Am I tripping? Yeah, Eric Lindros. Yeah, he was the center. That's cool. I'll keep that for posterity. Why not? Adam Graves again. Dave Taylor. I'm going to put together that. Look at that, man. Another American, kick booty American player. JR. Freaking love me some JR. Let's see what else we got. Laidlaw Thomas. Seasoned leader. Nice. Gretzky won the Art Ross. Patrick Waugh won the Vezina, sorry. Gord Kluzak won the Masterson. I'm not sure what the Masterson is, to tell you the truth. What is the Masterson? Awarded for perseverance of sportsmanship and dedication to the game. Okay, you know what? I love it. Let's see what else. McTavish, man. Another one of those dudes. It was old school. It got grandfathered in without the lid. Ron Tugnut, one of the funniest jokes in hockey. Tugnut. All right. Goes without an explanation. Oh, this is nice, man. I haven't opened this stuff up since forever. I didn't get back into this product forever. Another Sutter brother. Not surprisingly, another Gretzky. Billy Ranford, who won the Conn Smythe. Man, he was the MVP. Heck yeah. Gil Perreault, Hall of Famer. Gotta add it. Charlie Huddy, he played for the Kings for a minute. A lot of Edmonton and Kings like crossovers, right? Yeah, so eventually I learned how to skate, and then I got bored of playing goalie, getting run over by a bunch of like derpy people. There's Messier. Beautiful card. Oh yeah, look at that. Matt Sundin. Heck yeah, Matt Sundin. Love it, man. Yeah, I got sick of getting run over by a bunch of young people. I mean, don't get me wrong. I was a young man myself, but I knew how to pull up and not, like, play the puck right through the goalie. That's just, like, disrespectful, right? So I took a page out of Ron Hextall's book. I used to hack people. I'd give the old karate chop across the back of the Achilles if you played me like that, Richter. Christian Ruto. Bob Beers. Jeff Hackett. He played for the San Jose Sharks at the expansion, I believe. Nelson Emerson. But I got bored and I got good at skating. So eventually, there's Kelly Rudy. Speaking of my man, another Mondano. Heck yeah. And I started playing offense. I started skating out, and I really, really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed playing hockey. I enjoyed more the off time where I didn't get to play like organized hockey and just skate. And I got to where I could skate faster backwards than most people ever skated forward. There we go, Matt Sundin. So when the cardio wasn't good or if the competition level was too high, I could just play defense. Ooh, baby, look at that. Brad Hull with the big slapper on the horizontal. Heck yeah. Dude, look at him leaning into that. He's like so on edge. Look at that edge grind. He's like, shh. That's beauty. Pardon me. Sorry about that. I'll take those All-Stars. Another Sutter brother. Yari Curry. Dougie Gilmore. Don't mind if I do. Yeah, man. My hockey binder's about to get real thick. Ooh, it's Ray Ferraro, excuse me. You guys listen to Ray and Greg's, right? Podcast? Yeah, Ray Ferraro, man. He's very good. Oop, upside downer. Oop, what is this, upper deck? What the hell? Whoa, this is upper deck. Leach, Fischer, Maltis, Shabbat, Andy Moog, nice, Yerkelume, Fiaro, Ray Ferraro, excuse me, Fiaro, Ray Ferrari. Yeah, Ray and Dregs. I do believe that's the name of the podcast. Great podcast, like a twice a week podcast about hockey, everything hockey. It's great. Al Frady with the bomb. There we go, 1990 champions. There we go. There's your Conn Smythe hoisting the cup. There's Mess right there. Shoot, is that Graves? Can't tell, but that's cool. I'll take that. Scott Stevens. Patrick Waugh. I don't know, man. I don't know if he's going to make that save, honestly. Guy Lafleur again. Dave Taylor. Ely Krupp. Another Roenick. Love it. Thank you for the rookies. You know what we need, though? Now that we got doubles on Madonna, Sundin, and Roenick. Oh, Dave Anderchuk in the back. We need some Jagrs, man. Let's get some Jagrs. Pierre Turgeon, another guy who had CTE problems. Daryl Sador, remember him? Oh, speak of the legend. Boys, let's do it. Look at that. Hold on, let me organize my piles in honor of freaking Jagr, bro. Look at this. Golly. That's a dope card, man. Freaking Jagr. Right next to Marty Brodeur. Hiya. That's what you want to see. You don't want to see Turner Stevenson so much as a Jagr, right? Ray Borg on LSD. Or on beer. Mark Recchi. I think that's a Recchi rookie. Dave Anderchuk. Who's that behind him? The Quebec Nordiques. All right. Let's go. Let's get some more Jagrs. Let's get some more Brodeurs. I don't remember Everett Cinepass. There's Ron Hextall. Man, I gotta just include him for reference. Super Mario. Alfredi got that one. Messier. Tripping. Got that one. What is that? Hoobie. Y'all seen that Adam Sandler Hoobie Halloween? That's freaking dope, dude. That's a funny show. Hoobie Halloween. When I was a kid, I used to listen to Adam Sandler after Saturday Night Live, and he had his comedy albums. They're all gonna laugh at you. Welcome to Worcester. $1.25, please. You know what I mean? If you know, you know. If you don't, Check it out. It's good stuff. And then, Modano all rookie team. And then he started making movies, you know. Bob Probert, another tough dude. Brendan Shanahan again. He started making all those funny movies, 50 First Dates and Billy Madison and the golf one or whatever the hell. He made all those movies. They were great. And yeah, I always liked that stuff. You know, me and a billion other people. Chris Chelios, nice. Al McInnes again. Cam Neely again. Coffee. Lemieux again. But yeah, that Hubie Halloween show is just great. Joey Mullen. Why not? Joe Mullen. Yeah. It's a good one. If you haven't seen the Hubie Halloween, check it out. I think it's on Netflix or one of those things. Kevin Stevens. He was a heck of a player there for a while. I mean, he was on a hell of a team. I don't know how much of that was him or how much of that was whatever was going on, but I mean, you got to be pretty good to be doing what he did back then. Because not everybody was putting up those numbers, you know. He might have been on a team with really good guys, but he's still putting up the numbers. Jamie McCown, Shane Corson. You know, these cards kind of remind me of like 1988 Fleer baseball with this red, white, and blue motif. Which is kind of surprising coming from like a Canadian company, you know. You wouldn't think they'd be so patriotic, but they knew where their bread was buttered, right? Down here in the States, Weinrich again, Barron again, Corriveau again, Leroy, Clint Malarchuk. There's Claude Lemieux, Tom Barrasso. Yeah, pretty cool stuff. Gerard Gallant, another coach. Guy Carbonneau, thank you. Yik Levoy, Hoffert, Des Boots, Craig McTavish, Bo. Ken Danico is another tough guy. Van Beesbrook, golly. Come on, another Jagr. Matthew Snyder. Alright, Kevin Stevens. Sorry, it's so late in the day, guys. I'm gassed, man. I am running on fumes. But I had to get this done because tomorrow's Thanksgiving. It's going to be super busy. And I just want to open this stuff and look at it. I've been jonesing for some sports stuff. I've been doing a lot of non-sports stuff lately, nerding out. But Chris Draper, man, part of all them Red Wings teams. Jimmy Waite, Phil Borg. So I was just kind of jonesing for some sports content for myself. Because my heart's really into the sports, but when you get old and the body fails you and you don't have time and the cardio sucks and, you know, ice time is bloody expensive and yada, 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 yada. You start to indulge shit like nerd stuff, you know. Oh, look at that. Trevor Kidd. That's cool, man. Owen Nolan. Dude played his butt off, and holy cow, there's the big deal, man. Back in the day, this would have been the hot card to pull. This is the $20 card back then. The Eric Lindros Future Superstar. They weren't kidding, man. He's a Hall of Famer. You know, he's a big boy. He's part of the line of the Legion of Doom. Yeah. I was happy to grow up watching him play. I mean, watching him get concussed by Vladimir Konstantinov, and then literally a couple shifts later, watching him completely annihilate Vladimir Konstantinov of the Red Wings was freaking legend, dude. And I never seen such freaking one-upsmanship. Freaking crazy, man. Lindros got his bell rung so hard, and then, I mean, maybe hit the smelling salts. You know, there was no concussion check. Ron Francis. Markov in his Rookie of the Year. Mogan Lemelin. Yeah, he didn't have to go through like concussion protocol. Otherwise, Lindros would not have been back on the ice. He would have been back in the locker room putting his street clothes on. But back then, man, they just played through that stuff. You got your bell rung. You know, they got you back there. Oh, Gilney. Yeah, he's finally a Hall of Famer. That's so cool. That's so cool to see that. Where's JR, bro? JR needs to be in the show. They just hate him because he talks his mind. Gilney, Granado, Messier with a heart, Gretzky. I don't even know who Fern Flamin is, but you know what? He's a Hall of Famer. I'll keep it for the PC. Waugh and Lewitt. Yeah, so Lindros gets like completely Ray Borg, baby. There you go. He gets concussed, goes back to the locker room or to the bench. I don't even know if he went to the locker room. To tell the truth, I'd have to Google that. I don't want to slander the guy and say he went back to the locker room, but Lindros got rocked and it looked like he was toast. But he sucked it up. He got his stuff together, came back out there, and just completely freaking annihilated Vladimir Konstantinov. And Vladimir Konstantinov got hit so hard. And seeing this stuff in real time is crazy. It looked like he'd never skated again. I mean, he was like a dead man on skates. Bernie Nichols, Coffee, Yzerman. What? Sakic. Heck yeah, is that a Sakic rookie? I think it is. Gretzky, Ticketed. Markov again. Bill Ranford again. Messier again. Ah, with the inserts, bro. Hiya. Yeah, that was some good stuff. Those, if you're around in the 90s, and you saw all those Red Wings and Avalanche playoffs and Flyers, it was a bloodbath, man. It was a bloodbath. Sheesh. Rob Blake. I think he just got canned by the Kings, but he played his role for sure. He definitely had his hands in a lot of these good teams the Kings have had. Brindamore again. All right, getting down to it. 3 to go. Hope you're all gonna enjoy your Thanksgiving. I'm gonna go easy on the carbs. I'm gonna go easy on the alcohol. Patrick Waugh. Actually, we're not doing any alcohol. Lemieux, look at that, back to back. Brian Bellows, Cam Neely, Leach, Fisher, Melies, Ing, Fleury. What a pack! Golly. Scott Stevens. Yeah. Gonna go easy on the carbs. Watch the sugars. Do what I always do. Pull my weight and do the dishes. Help cook and do the dishes. Don't make the ladies do all that shit, man. Be a bro. Step up and wash some of them big old heavy pots and pans. There's Marty Brodeur, number 2. Keith Primu. Ricci again. Oop. Mondano again. There we go. Last pack, guys. There we go. Yeah, I like to do that. You know, the in-laws are over. We got Cujo in the back. Look at that. You can't beat that, man. I didn't even know Cujo was in here. There's Tocchet again. Bennett. Kolzig. That guy. This dude. All rookie guy. Cicerelli. And, dude, what a way to end. Curtis Joseph, rookie. Look at that. Sick. Yeah, don't make your in-laws, man. Don't make grandma do the dishes. Be a bro, man. Step away from the game. Go in there. Clean up house. That's what I do. And you'll burn off some of them calories too. And you'll feel good about it. Then guess what? Once all that crap's done, you can just relax. You don't have to hear the clanking of the dishes and carrying on. So everything's done. The ladies get to relax after a hard day's work. Fellas get to do their thing, whatever they're doing. And then you get to burn some calories and know that you pitched in and pulled your weight. That's my recommendation to you. When I was a kid, I don't think anybody helped my mom. I know I didn't. I just, did my own thing, watched football, ran around, played outside until stuff was on the table and they were begging me to come say grace. And that's how I rolled. And then at a certain point, I felt really guilty about having my mom like up since like the day before, like making food and having to be in control of all that stuff. And then have to clean up afterwards. I mean, that's tore up from the floor up. Look at how nice that is. That's a quality product right there. And guess what? How much did that cost? Got this at the old Burbank Sports Cards for 12 whole smackaroonies plus California tax. So it was like $100. That's a joke. But yeah, taxes are high in California. All right, let's see if we can get these out of here without making a fiasco. Shoot, I'd like to just rip the box, but all right. Let's just, let's just do it like that. There we go. Got it. Got it pretty darn good, except for the Gretz. There's the Gretz back here. Let's get Gretz out. Come on, Gretzy. Gretzky with his 2,000 point. Tonelli. That's cool, man. It's a good card. Keep that out. All right. Let's finish the 1990 score edition with the traded Denis Savard, Howardchuk, Housley, Chelios, Courtnall, Zezel, Mullen, Claude Lemieux, Bobby Halik. Is that his rookie? We'll see. Oh, man. A lot of names here. Ray Ferraro again. Garpenlov. He's on the Sergei Fedorov upper deck card. The checklist. Oh, baby. Oh, man. I've never owned this card. I have a ton of PSA and like BGS graded stuff, but I do not have this card here. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I don't value score like I do upper deck. So like the upper deck, like Young Guns and all that stuff, I got those for days. But that's beautiful. It's really nice, man. Fedorov. Happy to have it. Super cool. All right, let's see. Another coach, Dave Tippett. Reichel. Scott Stevens. Yeah, why not? Vladimir Ruzicka. All right, let's see what else we got. We got the Pylon. You freaking Pylon. John McIntyre. Mike Kruzelinski. He played for the Kings, I believe. Bob McGill. There's Nedved. Do believe that's his rookie. Eddie Olczyk again. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't take Edzo out. Let's see. Desjardins. Ricci. So you got Ricci like draft, and now you got Ricci the regs. Robert Crone. Jacqueline. Scott Arnell. Oh, man, baby. Man, baby. Look at that. Here, Sakic, you go over here with Mandano, and then we're going to put our Jagrs together. That sounds gross. Let's put our Jagrs together, shan't we? Sounds a bit suggestive. Peter Bondra. Freak, yeah, dude. That dude rocked. So good. There's the dude I was telling you about for the Kings goaltender. Bartholomew? No, I don't think it's that. All right, Pylon. Shit, I'm all confused. Did I go through these ones? Sorry, pardon my French. Yeah, I went through those ones. Okay, cool. All right, last stack. Here we go. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you have a fantastic holiday. Owen Nolan. All right, Fedorov, you get to go up here with Bure. Oh, Bure. Jagr, excuse me. I'm getting ahead of myself. Owen Nolan. I know somewhere in here is a Bure, and I'm stoked to see it. Ken Hodge Jr., right? Sorry, guys. Yep, there's an Eric Lindros card. There you go. Eric Lindros had to have been a big deal back then, and you know what? Dude had a hell of a career. Keith Primo, I think he had a hell of a career too. I like Keith Primo. Ray Shepard. Ooh wee. Matt Sundin. I got the prospect. Now we got the regs. Mike Keenan. Mike Keen. Oh, there's the Belfour. Oh my God. Look at that. Ho, 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 ho. I've never owned this card, but I've definitely wanted this card for a long time. I've been tempted to buy like the PSA 10 of it. I just haven't seen one. So there's a nice one right there. Sylvain Turchon. Whoa. Was there no Bure in this one? Is that the next one? Hold up. Tripping. No Pavel Bure? Guess not. Jagr. No, Belfour. Oh, it's the 91. Okay, cool. Yeah, no worries. The 91 has the Jagr. So that'll be in the next video. I already have a box of the 91 coming, and I already have the 91 update. So when that arrives, I will open that and explore its interesting cards. But yeah, what a great time period. What a bunch of freaking Hall of Famers. It's great. Thanks for hanging out. Happy holidays. Be responsible. Take care of your people. Take care of yourself. We'll check you next time.